Let me ask you a question. What's your most precious, non-renewable resource? I mean, the one thing you can never, ever get back? It's your time. And in this explainer, we're going to dive into a framework that could totally change how you look at every single minute of your day.
All right, let's start with a little thought experiment. Imagine I'm offering you 1 crore rupees, right here, right now. The only catch? You have to spend it all today, because you're not waking up tomorrow. Would you take the deal? I mean, no way, right? Absolutely not.
And right there, that simple answer shows a massive truth. Deep down, you already believe that a single day of your life is worth more than a fortune. So here's the real question. If your time is that valuable, why do we treat it so cheaply? Why are we so afraid of dying, but not of wasting the very moments that make up our life?
To really get this, we're going to look back at some ancient wisdom. You see, the Atharva Veda has this incredible metaphor for time. It doesn't see it as a clock ticking away, but as this powerful, wild force of nature.
Think about that. This idea has been around for thousands of years. Time is a horse at a full gallop. It doesn't care if you're ready, if you're motivated, or if you had a rough night. It just keeps going. And that leaves you with only 2 choices.
You can be the rider, the one who grabs the reins, directs all that energy with a clear purpose, and lives an intentional life. Or you can be the spectator, just standing on the sidelines, passive, with no direction, watching your potential and your life just gallop right past you. So you have to ask yourself, which one are you?
Here's another way to look at it. Every single morning, a bank account is opened in your name, and it's credited with 86,400 seconds. This is your fortune for the day. You can't save it, you can't transfer it. At midnight, whatever you haven't invested is gone, forever. So how are you spending yours?
Now, the thinking goes that we commit 2 huge sins that pretty much guarantee we waste this daily fortune. The first one is all in our heads, believing we're not smart enough or strong enough or good enough. And the second is even worse, knowingly throwing away our time, even when we know better.
And let's be real, wasting time has never been easier. The ancient Roman Empire had this strategy called bread and circuses. Basically, keep the people fed and entertained, and they won't focus on the real issues. Well, what are today's circuses? There are social media feeds and streaming platforms, just a never-ending river of content designed to distract us and keep us as passive spectators.
But listen, it doesn't have to be this way. Let's take a look at the people who chose to be writers. The greatest success stories in history weren't built on money, they were built on a masterful investment of time. I mean, look at Warren Buffett. We all see him as this financial genius, right? But we miss the real secret. At 6 years old, when other kids were just playing, he was investing his time, selling packs of gum for a profit. By 11, he was already in the stock market. By 16, he'd already built a small fortune. He didn't invest money he was given, he invested his time to create the money from scratch.
And this kind of discipline is a common thread you see everywhere. Mahatma Gandhi once literally walked away from a reporter mid-interview because his march was more important. Abraham Lincoln juggled farm work and helping his family with intense self-study. And even today, people like Elon Musk famously schedule their time down to the minute. The lesson is crystal clear. Extreme discipline with your time can lead to extreme results. Okay, so we get the problem and we've seen what's possible, but how do we actually do it? How do we become the rider of that horse? Well, the answer comes down to a single science-backed technique that pretty much every successful person uses.
First things first, we need to throw out what doesn't work, the classic to-do list. Why? Because a long list of tasks is just overwhelming. It gives you decision fatigue, it tempts you to do the easy little tasks instead of the important big ones, and it has no real connection to your long-term goals.
So instead, we use time boxing. This is the technique that a Harvard study found to be the single most effective productivity hack. The logic is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. See, a task on a to-do list is just a wish, but a task scheduled on your calendar, that's a commitment. So stop making lists of what you need to do, open your calendar, and decide exactly when you're going to do it. You're literally making an appointment with your own success.
But here's the thing, time boxing only works if you know what to put in those boxes, and that's where SMART goals come in. First, be specific. Don't just say I want to travel. Decide I'm going to visit Delhi for 5 days in October. Make it measurable. How will you know you're making progress? Then make sure it's achievable, something that pushes you but is actually realistic. Is it relevant to your life? And finally, and this is the most important part for time boxing, make it time-bound. Give every single goal a deadline.
Now, when you combine these 2 things, SMART goals and time boxing, something amazing happens.
You stop being a passive spectator and you start taking active control. Your calendar stops being a record of things happening to you, and it becomes a blueprint for the life you actually want to build.
Still not convinced? Okay, let's put a price tag on procrastination. The data shows that wasting just 3 hours a day, scrolling, watching random videos, costs the average person over 20,000 rupees every single month. Time is a currency, and right now, you might just be letting it drain out of your account.
And that brings us to this final, really sobering warning. We casually say we're just killing time, but one day, you're going to look back and you'll realize that time is killing your dreams, your potential, and your chances. And that kind of regret, well, it's unbearable.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. A new day is starting. A fresh deposit of 86,400 seconds is in your account, ready to be invested. That fast horse of time is standing right in front of you. Are you just going to watch it go by, or are you going to ride? The choice is